Whoa, where am I? What's going on? No. Hey, welcome in everybody. This is Fiercestbard. I am doing the fan art tonight, and I see some stuff that I would like to change about this arm and the way that I sketched it. So we're gonna work on hands today. Um, Hands not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do, but I think I have an idea for how I'm gonna draw this one, as long as I follow the reference that I have, as long as I pay attention and actually do the thing that I want to do based on this reference that I have of a hand. Perhaps I will get this right, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great Thirsty Thursday. It is Thirsty Thursday, after all. And, you know, if you guys haven't thirsted enough for the titty star, you know, I will ask you guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? But yeah, first we're gonna do this, though. We're gonna try to break down a hand into... I usually like, when I draw hands, I usually like doing it like this, with a polygon of some sort, right? Like, and greetings, remember me, Miss Capybara? Yes, I do. Piper Hyper, what's up? How you doing? You were here this week, right? Where are you? Where are you here this week? How come the top of my head is clearly whoops. Let me just get myself more arranged. But yeah, what's going on? How you doing? Hope all is good. Hope all is good in your place, in time and stuff like that. We're not drawing any we're not drawing any Homelanders today, but you know, it should be all good. It should be all good anyway. Hold on, I gotta rearrange my windows. English is hard. English is very hard for me right now. But yeah, usually when it comes to drawing these types of hands and stuff like that, I always like to start with this sort of shape, right? Like the hexagon. Hexagon? Is it a hexagon? I don't know. I usually start with this type of thing, and then I build it up from here by sectioning it out a little bit, then make it a little bit more 3D, and that's how I do hands usually. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work when I do it like this. Sometimes I run into trouble, but like breaking stuff down into simpler shapes is always the way to go. I will say it's always the way to go. At least I feel like it is. So these are the parts of the palm here, and then we can draw like the line that goes across, because you got like various wrinkles on your hand. Okay, so here is the webbing that makes up the part between the thumb and the index finger, right? So we're gonna get that in there, and then one, let's see, 2, 3. Whoops, maybe I spaced this out terribly. Maybe I gotta make it a little smaller. But yeah, hopefully you guys are doing good on Thirsty Thursday. Hopefully your gacha pulls are good. Drawing a what star? What star do you think, Ilaria? Ara Ara is right. No, we are drawing a titty star. We are drawing a titty star here today. She is the star of the titties. I was gonna say. No, me and Mooney, okay, so granted, I call her TT Star, honest, right? But Mooney always calls her Titty Star. I need proof she's a titty star. I mean, you know, like, you know, we're trying to give her that proof, okay? We're trying to give her the proof of being a titty star. It's because that's what their group is called. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, that's titty. But yeah, I know Honest is a favorite of a lot of players. She's not necessarily one of my favorites, right? But I do respect. I like her storyline so far. In the third 3.5 anniversary and stuff like that, right? So I do appreciate the story, even though it's kind of dark. Like, not gonna lie, I did not expect. Well, okay, granted, you know, Nikkei always has these storylines that are just kind of like, what the, you know, it's like. So I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but her story is pretty. It's a pretty dark one, but you know. I think it does go a long way to explaining why she's even on counters to begin with, you know? We should know we have a pair ourselves. A pair, huh, you say? You thought this was going to be a sexy idol time? I really did think it was going to be sexy idol time, but they bait and switched to tragic story time. Oh wait, counters? Is it Honest? Yeah, it's Titty Star Honest. I'm drawing the brand new Titty Star Honest. I just gotta get her hands right. Sometimes I have a lot of trouble with hands, but, you know, it's okay. They knew what they were doing. They really did know what they were doing. When they named her, I 100% think that they believe that they knew what they were doing when they named her. Come on. Like, this might take me a couple of tries to get right, though. Because, again, I do have trouble with hands. Not gonna lie, it is not, the easiest thing in the world for me. But, at the same time, like, you know, you only get better if you keep trying and failing. And you learn from your mistakes, right? So, that's what I will be doing today. Just, trial and error. I already feel like I have the fingers a little bit too long and too big here for this particular image. So let me just sometimes it's all about the angles. You can talk about how cool Neon is, ironically. Neon is crazy good. I'm very happy with this new version of Neon. The Neo Vision version or whatever they're calling her now. Because like, you know, like for longtime players, you guys know remember the disappointment that happened during that summer when they released the Summer Neon. Great design, but the problem is um her entire kit was terrible. It was absolutely horrible. And she became basically unusable immediately and stuff like that. And it was just kind of tragic how that all happened like so quickly and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Honest was actually like a top tier unit for Thunder, and it was kind of crazy like how they could release both of them, and then Neon was just completely like, you know, terrible at that point, right? But the good news is it seems like things have gotten better with this new version of Neon, and you know, on any team that requires you know, electric damage, it seems like you know, she's definitely the one to get for sure. Now this is gonna take a lot of finessing into an actual halfway decent hand. Sorry if I'm getting a little quiet here, but sometimes when I go into like these moods where I have to figure something out and I have to think a lot, I will get really quiet. And you know, like it has to do with the fact that like I gotta really focus to figure this one out, you know? And as long as the sketch holds up a little bit, right, we could fix all the issues with it when we get to the line art. You know, we're not gonna actually follow the exact lines and stuff like that that we're putting down for the sketch here, you know? And there's a lot that's like, you know, it needs to be fixed so that this actually um fits, I guess. Okay. Like, I don't like the placement of the fingers on this one, but I do like the angle that I'm going for here. So I'm gonna have to work on fixing that in a moment. But I'll leave that there for now, and then let me just get rid of this for the time being. Okay. Hmm. I just realized that if I change the arm here like this hand actually does not really make sense to put on that anymore. Okay, let's okay, let's see. Let's just make it so that this arm is angled properly. And then what we could do is move this arm over here, and then okay, maybe too big that way. Definitely have to change the fingers on this to get it to look better, but we have what we're looking for. Okay. Okay. The other hand now. Maybe we're gonna have to think about the pose for the other arm a little bit more. I do like it when there's like a lot of like movement in the arm where it's like in the hand, I should say, where it's kind of like more foreshortened than usual. But I really have to think about this one because it's too close to her hair. So there's like no space for me to actually add stuff to this, so I'm just trying to move it a little bit more. One, two, three. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. And I gotta make sure both arms are actually like um within the same proportions too, so I could do the thing where what I usually do is I start laying down the line art for it, and then I fix major issues like with the hands and stuff like that during that phase, right? But that's more that's more practice of me procrastinating the actual uh fix than anything, right? That's what I usually do. I'm not gonna lie. When I end up in situations like this where I'm trying to figure out the pose for the hands and stuff like that, I usually leave it for later on. And I usually leave it for later on by doing the line art a little bit early. I'm also trying to give her slightly wider hips because I think I may have drawn them a little bit too close. Yeah, I'm trying to do like a pop idol type of thing with her because it's like that's the version of the costume that I'm actually trying to draw here. So okay, I think yeah, we'll probably fix up the hands during the line art phase of it, right? Because we have in general what we want. We just gotta but I don't want to spend too much time trying to sketch it out because I feel like I'm just gonna fix it in when I do the line art anyway. So, but at least I know where I'm going with this now. So And then she's got the... the jacket over here. That goes into all of this. That goes back here, and then like that maybe, and then the details over there. Okay. I think we could start doing this. Alright, cool. And you know, like, truthfully, I don't normally sketch on stream because I've expressed that previously. I always feel like when I sketch on stream, I don't really do the best job that I could, because I feel like I have like the there's like this this pressure to like just do something and get it over with, right? But for like, I'm trying to figure out ways to get over that so that it's not necessarily gonna be you know, the thing that stops me from sketching on stream and stuff like that, so I could do like lots more stuff while I'm actually streaming. So we shall see, but for this one, I'm just gonna tilt the canvas a little bit here. Because I already don't have this framed the way that, like, where the image, like, usually, like, some people, when they frame the image, right, they'll have like a grid, like the rule of thirds and stuff like that. And usually, you know, like, you'd want your focus point to be somewhere over there or something like that, or like, you know, at any one of the focus points. But I don't have this one like that, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna tilt it a little bit more to make it a little bit more diagonal. So then the stage behind her is gonna be like, you know, like upwards, like diagonaled. So maybe that'll add some interest to the way that the lighting will come down on her and stuff like that, right? Pumpkin, what's up? Do I have the most amazing smile? Do I? You brighten the very stars itself. You're deserving of all the amazing things in life. Remember, you're loved and the best. All the love and support to you. Well, you know what, Pumpkin? All the love and support to you, actually. and actually, Mooney gave me this smile, see? Mooney actually gave me this smile. She made this model for me, so you guys can fully blame Mooney, or rather give her credit, I should say, for the smile that you see on your stream. But yeah, how you doing? How you doing, Pumpkin? Hope all is good. And you are having a good Thursday, hopefully. Let's see. How are we gonna do this line art now? I usually do the line art now with rather thin lines. I've been trying to thin out my lines more and more. It's not necessarily like necessary to do that, right? Like, if you're doing anime art style, you don't necessarily have to do what I do, where I thin out my lines like crazy, right? But, you know, it is kind of part of some of the look. A lot of people really enjoy when anime style artwork, I should say, has these like ultra thin lines and stuff like that. So that's why you know, try to do it like that, but you know, it's not actually necessary. There are actually situations where you want to have line art that's more expressive and stuff like that in you know, your anime style artwork and stuff like that. It's just like, you know, like largely the most popular look has the ultra thin lines. So, you know, it is kind of what it is, right, with it, but you know, like for me, I don't stress out over it as much as I used to. And you know, you guys will see that I also tend to draw over certain lines and stuff like that. Like I don't necessarily have to have the lines perfect. I just want them to look good. And by good I mean like whatever it takes, right? Like even if it's not the most thin that they could possibly be. So and then it's like I forget from a lot of our other artists, right? Like, you know, I've gotten comments about the way that I do line art, right? Previously, where a lot of people are like, "Wow, like how long does that take you?" And then I tell them it literally takes me like hours, like 8 hours, something like that, you know, to do line art like this, right? And a lot of people like will say that they don't have the patience for it and stuff like that. And I think yeah, it's like it's a tolerance that you have to build. No, no joke. I just got used to this because growing up, when you used to do artwork on paper and stuff like that, and then you would get your light box and you would ink your sketch that underneath the light box and stuff like that. Like I would just kind of sit there and do it, and you know, like hours would go by, and then suddenly, oh shoot, it's like late, and stuff like that, right? It's just like a thing that you build up a tolerance for. It's not a specific skill or anything like that. I feel like anybody that wants to do line art like just has to go through the gauntlet of like um getting your patience leveled up. As long as you do the gauntlet where you just sit there and you do it, it gets easier and easier over time, but it's not the most fun. It's not the most fun thing. Unless you really enjoy line art. I mean, I have to admit, as I do the line art for a lot of the characters when I draw them and stuff like that, as I see it come together through the line art, you know, with time, more and more I'm like, oh shoot, this is actually pretty cool. Like, you know, like, so over time, I've actually learned to really appreciate doing it and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, it's kind of rewarding in its own way. But, you know, it still takes forever to do, so luckily there's tools like that, like on Clip Studio, that help you to speed up certain things. And I am using vector lines right now, so I am so vector lines are basically calculated by the computer itself, right? They're mathematical points, all right, and basically you can increase the size of them and not have to worry about resolution, right? Like you're not gonna lose. It's not gonna get all fuzzy on you if you make them bigger or you know, change them too much, right? But sometimes the vector line tool gives me problems in Clip Studio because, like, you know, again, it's not something that you're actually controlling other than the strokes that you make, right? Like, technically speaking, because it's trying to figure out all this by itself, if you use a lot of the things like the vector arrays, it's calculating that too, and it's trying to give you a result, and sometimes that result is like, no, that's completely wrong, and it messes up things, and then you gotta clean that up yourself. So, you know, like, even when you try to make things easier for yourself with technology, it doesn't always work the way you think it's gonna work. Okay, maybe I should put the face on a separate layer. So let's see. There's always and now you might be wondering why I would want to put the face on a separate layer. I mean, there's always reasons for it. Like, you know, if you want to do alternate versions of certain artwork and stuff like that, I would just leave it at that. If you want to do quote unquote alternate versions. I don't think that there's going to be an alternate version of this in particular, but you know, um, it's just a habit that I've started to pick up on because of the possibility of having said alternate versions. There we go. All right. She's happy because she's singing, because she's the titty star. There we go. One thing that I don't do a whole lot of when I do certain pieces of art is hatching and cross hatching. Because I'm not really drawing like like a manga style image, right? Where it's like, you know, black and white and stuff like that. But there are certain times when you could use the effect, like over here a little bit, you know. There are some times when I'll try to use it, even underneath the, you know, the eyes and stuff like that, right? If whoops, that's a little too close together. And then sometimes you gotta kind of move it into place. Let's see. Because she is like every other anime character out there. Her nose only exists as a singular blip in the cosmos. That's all we need until we start coloring and shading. We just gotta have it positioned somewhere. Let's just give it a little bit. Okay, her eyes. So her eyes are usually more like the more cat-like eyes, I guess. She has that which is a little different from, you know, the way that I drew them here, right? Like, I kind of drew them more wider here in the sketch, but I'm not gonna actually follow that because I kind of want her to look like honest as much as I can, so maybe a little bit more arced downwards a little bit. It's the more cat-like shape that she has as opposed to some of the other characters, right? And especially since she's an idol, you know, like it's a little bit more appropriate here. That's what happens when you're the titty star. Or maybe that's a little too much. Maybe. Okay. Let me change that just a little bit. And this is why I use the vector lines, because I can do like mesh transform here and not worry about it affecting the quality of the line work, if that makes sense. Like, it won't lose resolution on me. It won't be completely like fuzzy and unusable once I'm done with that. So that's kind of why I like using the vector lines. But again, it's not for everyone, because like sometimes you get problems with the vector lines, right? Like, it's not a cure-all solution for all the line art problems that everybody has. Like, the more lines that I put into this, for example, the more it's gonna cause strange things to happen when I go to do other things to the line art. Like, let's say if I use a vector erase somewhere in here, I already know that the eyes are gonna be like really weird because of all the lines that I put into this, and then it's gonna confuse the computer, and it's gonna, Clip Studio is not gonna know like where to go and what to do with certain lines. Excuse me, coughing a lung out here. And with some of the eyelashes here too, I'm doing the eyelashes like in a way that's like quick and dirty, because this is just going to be filled in like either a black color or a really deep brown and stuff like that. So I don't really mind that it's a little bit messy, because actually some of the underside here is gonna be pretty interesting, because when you look at somebody with eyelashes in real life and stuff like that, you'll notice that they don't follow the line of the eye, like the eyelid, perfectly, and some of the eyelashes actually like kind of come down and are all over the place and stuff like that. So, having some of them a little bit messy is okay, And then this is the fold that's above the eyelid. A lot of times we have an extra fold that's like above the eyelid here. Excuse me, I'm coughing my lungs out as usual. It's been kind of like that for the last few weeks. Now what I'm gonna do here is copy and reflect this, because unlike with some of the other artwork that I do, this pose, her face is much more it's much more straightforward, right? Like the expression that she has on her face, as well as the angle of her face, right, is like much more straight up. So I don't need to really change the eyes too much. They could be like quite similar, and I think that'll be okay. Like if I had her head turned a little bit more, and she was like, say, looking at you from a 3/4 angle or something like that, then I would draw two different eyes. But for this one, her eyes being similar shaped should probably be the thing to do here, because again, she's much more straightforward in the way that she's looking at the viewer here. So so what I'm more interested in with the other eye is just to retain the same like shape as much as I could. Oh, of course. I drew. Of course, I drew everything. Okay. That's okay. We'll fix this. I originally wanted the face on a separate layer of its own, and then I ended up drawing them all in the same like layer. So there we go. And then let's like merge it into. So the face is on its own layer, and then the rest of the line art is on its own. Okay, we give her some eyebrows. Whoops. Yeah, and I'm giving her some rather thin eyebrows. Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's just the way that I feel like the anime style usually does it, right? Get some of those extra lines over here. Okay, and now we gotta add at least the eyes right here. So yeah, I usually like to have the eyes have this part where it's close to the eyelids, where it's a little bit thicker, with the lines and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just like a stylistic choice there that I like. See how that looks compared to the other side. It's okay. Okay. Let's see if they line up, is the real question here. So I feel like maybe this one needs a little bit of a twist there. Okay. And then we need to get some eyelashes for the lower part of the eye. Okay. The chin needs a little work over here. It's a little crusty. Okay, so there's the face, and then we go back, and now we do the hair. The hair is gonna take the most work out of everything in this image. It's gonna be the part that drives everyone insane. This is such a hard curve to get, by the way, with your arm. Even if you're moving your arm just from the elbow and stuff like that. It's just like the C shape. Like it really tests the range of motion in your arm. Okay. So her bangs kind of come down to where her eyes are, so I'm trying to do that without making them overly long. And I also kind of want them to swing in general towards the right side because like she's kind of turning her head from that direction, I guess, as she's doing her performance or whatever here, so okay. So I did enough of the sketch where I at least know which direction I'm going with all this, so... That could be a little bit better. It's gonna look really... Whoops. And you really don't have to draw every single hairline. I think you know, you should avoid doing that if you're gonna draw hair. Don't. I mean, it depends on the style, but I think for myself, I would never draw like every single strand, because it just becomes too much. Like if you get enough of the lines where you can kind of like see the shape of the hair, that's already good enough. I feel like. Oops. Okay. Yeah, you could kind of already see what I was talking about with the vector erase tool. It's the more lines you add to the layer, the more trouble it has trying to discern what it is that you want to actually do with all this stuff. So again, it's not like the perfect way to solve all your problems, but at least it got me this far. Here we go. And then I just kind of have some of these like lines over here just to help indicate like the direction of everything, right? Like there we go. So yeah. And maybe this part over here is a little bit too... It's a little bit too straight, so I want to curve it more. There we go. And then like get rid of this part here. Okay, cool. And then we have the other hair strands over here. and they're kind of going in the same direction, the same general direction, because like I'm just trying to account for, again, like the turning of her head and stuff like that. Or like if I wasn't gonna do that, I would normally like do the other way, right? But like that would look a little bit weird, only because again, she's actually in motion. And if you just kind of ignore that, you can get away with doing that, but I feel like I need I feel like I need to follow the logic that I have in my head right now for this. Oh, I see what I did there. Okay. Um, that probably was not meant to happen the way that I thought about it. Okay, there we go. Let's just go back. Okay, so then she has like a piece that actually does do the opposite direction over here, and then like another bang that comes down behind it. So it's like it's her hair is so weird. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it though. And the lines that you could see when I did the curve, it's like a little bit thicker there, but I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't mind when I accidentally do things like that. Again, sometimes I kind of leave it because like there's like a level of like character that it has, I guess. You could kind of say that when that happens. Okay, this is gonna be tough. Trying to get that curve exactly where I wanted it to be. Is it really that like that? I don't know. The reference that I'm looking at for Anis's design is a little bit blurry for me, so I'm like trying to figure out if it's like the green part of her hair that's down there is actually its own strand. So actually it's not meant to be just one strand there, right? Or am I going crazy? I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. So let me actually just do this first, right? Let me get that curve in, and then we'll figure it out. I actually think there's 2 of them here, but I could be wrong about this, but, you know, let's just do it. And if we got it wrong, we could change it later. That's why we work digital. Or at least we can change it later if we remember it. That's the other thing. Sometimes, and a lot of artists are do this, right? Like, you just kind of look at a character for a while and you're trying to draw them, and you get so, like, you get so caught up in certain details on the character that you forget to draw other things, and then you post it, and then you look at the posting and you're like, man, this was great. I finished this. This was so... Oh, I forgot something. That's happened to me quite a few times. I end up changing it like months later when I finally notice. Though some things I don't ever notice. Like how I forgot to give Biscotti eyebrows in my Starscreen. That's still something that I have yet to change. I probably should change that at some point, but then, like, I feel like I'm gonna redesign her at some point. I feel like I want to redesign her. So it's like, if I redesign her, does it really make sense for me to go back to that old image and mess with it? I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I feel like maybe not. I'm just putting that there to be, because her hair goes over her ear. Like, her ear is not fully visible sometimes, and so she's got parts of her hair that's gonna cover it. But I kind of want to have the part of her hair, I mean, not her hair, her ear visible, where you could see this little microphone thing that she's got on. But I'm not sure about the shape of it. It looks like a heart to me from far away, but then like as I get closer to the reference, it's like, that's not a heart shape, is it? That's actually like a weird polygon of some sort. So I'm like kind of unsure about that right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. She's actually got some rather large earlobes, I noticed. Or whatever the bottom part of your ear is called. I don't know if it's called... It's like the whole thing is called an earlobe, but... I don't know what anything's called. Don't trust me when it comes to anatomy names and stuff like that. I don't know anything when it comes to that. Just kind of putting some of the usual stuff that I usually put in ears. But then, oops. Again, I think that, I don't know exactly what this shape is, but I don't think it's a heart anymore. I did think it was a heart before, but it's actually got some hard sides on it. like straight lines on it, so maybe it's more of like an orange shape that's like more like that, as opposed to actually being a heart of some sort. I thought it was a heart. I don't know. I thought it would have been kind of cute for her to have like a heart-shaped thing, but I guess not. And then it's like orange on the inside and it's got some kind of pattern on it, but that I can't really see. So I'm just gonna go like this and put what I feel like I see there. Like, I don't know. It might be completely wrong. It's okay. It's okay if it is. It's all up to the artist's interpretation at the end of the day. And then she's got like a part of this microphone. It's like it's hooks around the ear, like, and then there's like a part there that's sticking out over here, and then it goes around. Whoops. Let's erase all this in here, because it turns out that this part is covered. Okay, so this part is like a circular thing. Oops. Maybe did that a little bit too big. It's okay. Yeah, I don't try to draw circles anymore. Like, trying to draw a perfect circle is like, it's one of those things where it's like the first time you try to do it, you think to yourself, man, I did a good job. And then when you actually kind of take a look at what you've actually done, you're like, oh man, what was I thinking? So, I just do a large circle where I just erase the middle of it, and then that's how I get my circle shapes now. I don't bother. Like, it's just not worth it in the long run once you try to do this like you know, a couple of hundred times. And then it's got the pillowy part that's on the other side of the mic. There we go. Whoops. Okay. Okay. And then I guess like, during the weekend, like I'm not gonna be streaming until next Tuesday. Since I only really stream Tuesdays to Thursdays at 6 to 8 roughly on East Coast time. Um what will I be doing on the weekend? Well, I gotta do a lot of shopping stuff, but if I have some time, I might get started with sketching out the neon image that I want to do after this one and stuff like that. Like, I'm trying to get myself more acclimated to working on projects a little bit like more consistently instead of just waiting for every stream to do something and stuff like that, right? So like I'm hoping that I will be able to do that this weekend. But we shall see, like I have said that I've wanted to do that previously, and whether or not I've delivered on that is another story, unfortunately. And it has to do with a lot of stuff that's happening. Like life happens, right? And that's the unfortunate part. But we shall see. We shall see what happens. There we go. We fixed that up a little bit. Oh, I forgot to add her mouth. So she's got the as I call it, the chipmunk teeth. So let's give her that. Again, I noticed that this style, this look, it's kind of like not really like a new thing at this point, but I noticed that it became like really popular around the time like Kyoto Animation started doing it, and then you saw a lot of the idol animes doing it as well and stuff like that. And then it just kind of stuck around. So now like everybody has these like the top of their teeth looking like big and pearly white. Though maybe that's too big, right? She's got like large chompers right there. Maybe I'll make them a little smaller than that. Just a little bit. Oh, whoops. There we go. Just a little smaller. Just clean it up a little bit too. And then add back the little darker parts here. And then we add her tongue. Her tongue is like the biggest thing in her mouth. Whoops. Add a little bit there. Okay, cool, cool. her hair is just gonna be like this this trap that traps me here for like a gazillion years. Though that does happen with a lot of anime styled characters that I draw and stuff like that. The hair is always like the part that gives me the most work. Like, I know I said like I have a lot of trouble with the hands, right? But it's not that I can't figure out the hair, it's that it just takes the most time to line the hair and to actually color it too. It's always the part that I spend so much time on with any of these. And I'm just like, damn it, there's got to be a way for me to do this faster, right? No, there isn't. There never is. Let's see, is that in front? Yes, it is. So this line shouldn't be here. Oh, so I just noticed from zooming in. So I was drawing her hair like curved into the back, right? But it actually curves forward. Now that I'm zoomed in to the reference, right? So her hair actually comes forward towards the viewer. So I'm gonna have to do that with a lot of these sections on the bottom here. But the top part, let's see. I might have made the top part a little bit too thin in the sketch. Because it's like, her hair is like pretty much like very round and voluminous? I don't know how to pronounce that, geez. There's a lot of volume up there basically. And it's like, I might have made it a little bit too thin at the top, but I was trying to keep it thinner because her head is tilted upwards more, but maybe I went a little bit too far with it. So I think I gotta at least I gotta bring it out a little bit more than what I got. So just a little bit. Oh, whoops. I need that back. And then this part kind of connects to here. It doesn't really have the bump part over here. it just kind of connects right there, and then does the round thing. Okay, let's see. She's got that one a Hoge that just goes. It doesn't curve that much actually. It's actually really straight. Somehow I don't know how this works, but I curve it more. But it looks like it doesn't actually curve that all that much. And then have that part that sticks out a little bit. And don't worry about the sketch of her baby hand. That's kind of the plan, but you know, obviously it's gonna look a little bit different when we get to it. And then this part will kind of angle forward on the bottom here. So, but as long as I got the general shape of where everything's gonna go, it should be fine. Yeah, I gotta figure out all the loose strands and stuff like that that's gonna be in that area. Let me just clean this up first though. Trying to draw two parallel lines is one of the hardest things to do digitally for some reason. What the heck is that on that? Oh! I got a different reference, and as it turns out, on the other side of her hair, she's got a big orange ribbon actually on this side of the hair over here. Over here, it hangs down, and then she's got a lock of her hair that it ties into a curl over there. So I gotta add that over here. So maybe I'll move downwards and start working on the rest of her first before I finish those details on up here and stuff like that. Because I gotta like, you know, wrap my head around how her costume works first before I attempt to do things like that. So let's go down. Let's go downwards. I know everybody was waiting for this. Let's see. And of course, like, you know, again, the big C shapes, those are the hardest things for me. It really depends on the range of your, like, your arm and stuff like that, and, you know, how you position everything. But even if you move, you know, solely from your elbow, as they always tell us when you ink, just like move from your elbow only. Even if I'm doing that, I have a hard time with this rounded C shape, which is probably also why I have such a hard time with doing circles and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just kind of like, you know what? Screw these round objects. But the unfortunate part is we all need these round objects to finish the art that we're doing. Okay, let's flip canvas and let's try this again. Oh boy, here we go. And you know, back then, when I would do this with like, you know, ink pens and nibs and stuff like that, was not necessarily easier. Though at the same time, I felt like I had a lot more control over it, because like I would have my light box on, and then I would just like, you know, like you would have the texture of the paper to grip against the nib and stuff like that, right? So like this is a lot more slippery. Like a lot of people will put like a paper texture type of thing on their tablets, like a like a paper texture screen protector type of thing, so that they could have that that grip on the paper, the digital paper, as it were, right? But I don't. This tablet is just too big. I don't. I think they do make something like that for tablets of this size, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm probably not gonna be able to get this on perfectly. Just flipping it to see if it looks okay. Let me hit save, actually. I haven't saved in a while. And then what's weird is, like, her shirt down here is actually diagonal. I thought that it wasn't initially, but it actually goes in a diagonal upwards motion to the other side and stuff like that. I guess that's by design. I'm guessing. It's like... Yeah, all of this is a little bit, like, wavy and stuff like that. It's got a lot of wrinkles in it and stuff like that, so I'm gonna try to mimic that a little bit. Okay, and then she's got her tie here. And then let's get some of this in there. And then we got her hips. Then we got a little bit of her rib cage here. That's like... belly button. Okay, so I think that's about it for us tonight. Unfortunately, like I don't have all that much time to stream because of my day job and stuff like that, right? So I gotta keep most of my streams pretty short. Um, and especially since like this is like what the third stream since I actually came back to doing this, so I'm still kind of ramping up a little bit. But I hope that this weekend I'm gonna get a sketch done for the image of Neon that I want to do. Um, but I'll continue to work on this on stream. If I get that sketch done with Neon behind the scenes, then I can also work on that in tandem and see if I could actually do two at the same time, right? Like maybe I'll switch in and out between the two of them, and then like we'll see what happens if I try it like that. You know, maybe it might be a bad idea. Who knows? You know, like I hope that it'll work. You know, we'll see what happens, and you know, if I can get myself into a um a flow where I'm just kind of like I'm working on two things at the same time, that'd be kind of good, especially towards the end of the year for me, because I actually got an approval on one of my Artist Alley applications, right? I'm still not saying which one it is because I haven't gotten the payment in yet and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for the org to just kind of set everything up and have us all paid, because once you're paid, then you know for a fact that you're in and stuff like that. But I can say that I didn't get into Anime NYC. I'll probably try next year again, you know, like it looks like what it is that they like to see people, you know, trying like trying again and again until you kind of get in. Maybe one day I'll get in, maybe, but you know, this time no luck. But that's okay, you know. That's kind of the thing with Artist Alleys. You just gotta kind of try and try again until you eventually get in. But this one, you know, like so far line art is not looking too bad. I think despite the fact that I've taken such a long break from arting, you know, so far I'm liking where this is going. So, you know, like good on me. So I'm hoping to do this like whole Nikkei training arc type of thing where I draw all of counters. And that might actually include either Marion or Modernia, because technically, you know, even though Marion kind of... Spoilers for the first 5 minutes of the game, but, you know, Marion doesn't make it. But, you know, Modernia is still there, and she's technically still a part of the team, even if she is considered part of a different org at the moment and stuff like that. So we'll see. I don't know, we'll see. And then, like, you know I've drawn Dorothy before, but you know, like, I feel like I want to draw a new version of Dorothy, but we'll see again, you know, like there's a lot of Nikkei characters that I would like to draw that I haven't, and I really should, because it is the eternal gacha game. I know, like, some people have already moved on from playing Nikkei, but I don't think me and Mooney will ever move on from playing this game. we just gotta stick with this game forever, because it is ultimately the game that like we met on the game, so it made everything possible for us. So we're probably likely never going to give up on this game. But anyway, before we go, let's take a look. Let's take a look around a little bit. Maybe there's someone we could pay a visit to. I don't know, you know? It might be worth doing that, you know? Let's see who's on. I see some peeps on. You know what? I see somebody. That's doing the arting. Oh, animating an elf dance. You know what? Let's go and pay a visit. Let's go pay a visit. But yeah, yeah. I will be back. I will be back, guys. Like, I will be back for the say so, and definitely not degenerate Bard stream. I will be back for the say so and definitely not Bard streams. I stream every Tuesday and Tuesday to Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time and stuff like that. We'll see if we have to change that or not. But yeah, like we'll be back to work on Titty Star Anis, and also probably see where we get with Neon. And after our Nikkei training arc, maybe we'll go back to drawing more VTubers and stuff like that. There's quite a few VTubers that I haven't yet drawn and stuff like that, and I probably should. My Oshi, my past Oshi was one of them that I haven't drawn, but I probably should. So we'll see. But yeah, lots of good things. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and pay a visit to a person who is animating an elf dance. So let's go. Here we go. We're gonna go raid into Shige, who is doing some art. And yeah, here we go, guys. I will see you guys next time, perhaps on Tuesday. And yeah, have a great weekend, and hope to see you guys next week. Here we go.